Welcome back. It's your one and only Coach Blake of the Black Faker, and today we're going to be going over 4 biggest reasons why you suck at LANING. I just want to say these videos are not meant to like criticize or make fun of or just anything like that. This is just me looking at these videos to see what's factual and what's not factual. I just want to make sure that you guys know that because that's all I'm doing. As a coach of my experience of 9 years, almost 9 years, I want to see, are these videos the stuff that you should be watching? Or are these videos just kind of making you watch it, but you're really not getting anything? For the most part, I'm just talking about the video. I'm not saying, oh, the whole company of anybody's video or the whole channel of anybody's video. Stuff like that is, might be bad or might be clickbait. I'm just talking about this specific video and what they are teaching. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Our first reason why you could be losing your lanes. And the reason is you don't understand each champion's strong points and weak points. For example, Urgot has an insane level 1 if he starts with E. It's much stronger than Renekton's, and on top of this, Urgot is a ranged champion while Renekton is melee. So basically, Urgot should pressure Renekton hard in the first 3 levels, as level 1 advantages translate to level 3 as well, which is something we will go over a bit later. But watch how this Urgot plays at level 1, not trying to pressure me at all, letting me grab CS for free.
Once I always say that when I see names without, when I see the games without names, that always lets me know that the game might be in lower elo. So that's already something that I don't like about games like this. This is just saying in general, no matter who does it, even if it's your favorite YouTuber that's making some cool builds or whatnot, if the names are blocked, I'm always like unsure about the content.
And he's actually playing really far back, almost scared of me for no reason. Then he lets me walk up for this last hit and doesn't use E on me. If this was high elo, I wouldn't even go for that minion.
Okay, he already said high elo. So you're learning from someone smurfing, which means that it's not really going to benefit you. But the concept is still correct. You need to understand the champions. That goes for every single lane.
If his E is up, because I know he'll jump on me and I can lose the lane just from that. After that, I see my Ivern coming in for a gank from behind, which isn't something you see very often at level 2, but I make sure to kill some CS for my own level 2 to help him with the gank.
I definitely see a lot of Ivern ganks at level 2.
As soon as I hit it, Ivern comes around, but because he misplayed the gank so hard, we don't even get Urgot's flash. But it's still pretty good damage. Something you wouldn't think about here though is, imagine if Urgot played the level 1 properly, meaning he pressured me for CS or punished if I walked up while he built up a slow push. I wouldn't be able to get level 2 by the time Ivern got here, and Urgot could easily handle a 1v2 with how strong he is at level 1 and 2 compared to Ivern and Renekton. He would be level 2, Ivern would be level 2, and I would be level 1. But because he played so scared level 1, this gank was possible, and we could have got his flash.
Agreed.
But now that I have a big health advantage in a matchup like this, I'm going to snowball it pretty hard. First, I'm going to use my 50 Fury to jump in, and power Q the Urgot in the wave and jump out to avoid his E.
Okay, that's only because he's smurfing. If he was in an elo like his, that would not have happened like that. I'm just letting you guys know. So really be cautious about how you're trading, because sometimes trades can ruin your lane. You have to be confident and you have to know and pretty much expect things to be happening. Because he's smurfing, a lot of what he says you kind of got to take with a grain of salt, because usually when you're smurfing, you're light years ahead of people, meaning that you can kind of even mess up and still get away with it because you're just better in general. So I do want to say that be cautious when you're doing stuff like this, because eventually players will become just as good as you if they're not already in your elo, and stuff like this just won't work.
If he lands his E, he will still win the all-in, even with my health advantage, so I wanted to just get some health back.
Exactly. He just said if he landed it, he would, he would have died 100%.
Then I'm going to work,
or at least forced flash out, probably wouldn't have died.
Work on building up Fury again while waiting for my cooldowns, while also getting closer to level 3. Once I hit level 3, I want to be aggressive, but I'm not sure where the enemy jungler is. I know she's around topside, so I'm going to ward real quick to know I'm safe. As I walk back into lane, Urgot was trying to poke me, but this is what he should have been doing earlier at level 1. He's too low to be doing this now that I'm level 3. Level 3 is where Renekton can actually have kill pressure in this matchup. And since he missed his Q, I walk at him and dash in, walk back to avoid his E, then combo him to burst.
Okay, first of all, him poking like that should mean his jungler's around. You see how he plays very differently out of nowhere with lower HP. That just makes no sense. So you have to assume a gank is coming. On top of that, Urgot just played that pretty poorly. As I said before, he is smurfing. So therefore, what you see and what he's explaining are 2 different things. Just remember that.
He missed his Q, I walk at him and dash in, walk back to avoid his E, then combo him to burst him down until he's forced to flash. Then I just flash as well and finish him.
Like, he didn't even really play that optimally, and he still got lucky because Urgot was just worse than how he played it. So
him off. Once he's dead, I know he has TP, but I have a potion in 50 Fury for a good amount of sustain.
I wish I could see. Oh, I can see the rank. Okay, with a name like that, Stay PISS, I'm pretty sure this is probably gold. But let me see. I'm gonna snap my fingers and we'll be right back. All right, so once again, it's kind of the same thing. An account that has multiple kind of seasons played. Once again, it could just be their account or it could be someone else's account. But I mean, even when smurfing, you realize how many games that had to be played for them to get a good video off of it. So like this person that plays honestly just doesn't really do that great, and smurfing is why they play like that and kind of get away with it. And I don't even know if they're like a high smurf or not. It could just be like plat, and like I said, it's just a good game. As I said, always be cautious about stuff like that because, like I said, and luckily he announced it. He said, hey, you know, this is because I'm smurfing, and if it was a higher elo, as I said, he didn't play his trades right either, so I don't think he's like, he probably is low diamond, maybe. But if you're asking why I'm incognito, because I don't like this stuff showing in my feed. But that's probably why. So, yeah.
Sustain. This will also give me a big minion advantage if he TPs in. This is the next reason why you guys aren't winning your
Or he could just not be carrying, and in which case, I mean, I don't know.
lanes. You don't understand how strong minions are in the early game. As expected, Urgot TPs in. He might have a health and item advantage, but because I have so many minions, I know I can actually win this 1v1 as long as I dodge his E. So that's the first thing I focus on. If I don't dodge...
He doesn't win if the jungler's there, and it should be pretty obvious that the jungler should be showing up. This type of stuff is one of those games where it's like, I have a really good game, let me make a video out of it type of deals. And there's a lot of that coming from a lot of YouTubers, no matter who it is. So the one thing you really want to think about, like I said again, is not what he's doing, but what he's saying, okay? It's very different. It is very different.
Dodge it, I would just E twice away to safety. But since I dodged it, now I can just continue.
He still loses this matchup, but I'm just curious how it works.
Continue to auto him on this side so he can't proc his passive shotguns. Then once he realizes he doesn't win anymore, it's already too late, and I finish him off for my second.
If the dude just walked through Renekton straight ahead, he would have killed him. But the guy was so interested in trying to get around. Like, the trick with Urgot, if you're worried about someone walking, same with Fiora, it's just walk through them, and then you can get your stuff. They're not going to expect you to go straight through, and which means they have to back up. If Renekton is forced to back up while Urgot pushes forward, it's scary for him, and he's also disengaging from the minions as Urgot, so they have to walk, which means they do less DPS because they can't auto-attack while walking. So, in that instance, if you do walk through, he's going to be like, why are you walking? Why are you? He's not going to want to get pushed back, which means he loses. As I said, he's not playing everything perfectly. He is just getting lucky, or he is just better than these players. That's pretty much it. And I don't like that as a teaching concept.
Shotguns. Then once he realizes he doesn't win anymore, it's already too late, and I finish him off for my second kill.
So again, what he says and what he does is two different things. Okay, this is ridiculous.
So I focus on dodging her W first, then fight her. I should have killed her actually, but I used my potion too late, so she flashed away to survive.
No.
I should have killed her.
He could still hit her right now. She doesn't have anything left, therefore any autos that she does is not going to take him out in 1 HP. So he just got spooked. Once again, I don't think he's a high elo smurf. He is definitely just like a platinum player, or if that is his main account. And that is not to bash or anything like that, but you could definitely tell through the play, either he just doesn't play anymore, or that he's just not as high as he makes himself seem.
Killed her actually, but I used my potion too late, so she flashed away to survive. So as you can see, matchup knowledge and minion advantage.
So all that doesn't matter. If you're in an elo, that's your elo, and that type of stuff happens, don't do any of that, okay? The main thing you want to take into point is understand the matchup, which is a given, and remember that minions, there's such thing as minion advantage, so you don't want to take overly aggressive trades, but if you do have the minion advantage, you can. Everything else, oh, and also if the laner just plays differently out of nowhere, they're probably going to get a gank, okay? Cool, next concept.
But this time versus Jax. If you're wondering why I'm playing so much Renekton, it's just because he's fun to me. But as we get into laning, I'm going to focus on auto-attacking minions.
Is that his account? MC Blaze? Let me check. Be right back. We're back. And no, I didn't find anything on MC Blaze.
Minions, even though I know Jax wins level 1 if he just fights me with his...
But if you guys know who it is, let me know, because I don't know.
E. I can't trade back with my W since his E dodges it, so he should...
And this is a skill cap video, by the way. I forgot to say that.
Actually be able to get the push advantage here. And that brings us to the next reason why you're losing lane in low elo. You don't understand how important the push is. Not only does it give a minion advantage, but it gives a level advantage as well. This replay will be a perfect example of how important that is. Anyways, Jax lets me get the push here and stack up some fury, so I'm looking pretty good as the next wave arrives. But since it's low elo, it's hard to read how they will react to certain things, or how they will shoot skill shots, as it's just random. So when it comes to this,
I don't like that. It's not random. Low elo players are actually pretty decent. There's just a lot of what they're missing, which is why they're not climbing. Sometimes it's something very small, but I don't like that. Low elo is predictable, and even with skill shots, it's predictable. You can read someone, and if you play enough, you'll be able to read them, no matter what elo it is. So, yeah, I don't agree with that statement at all.
Mind game with Renekton W and Jax.
This is pretty much the same concept as the first one, just a different replay. Like, what are the key points of this? It's literally talking about the minion advantage. I mean, let's see this fight real quick, though. Let's see what happens here. Why did this go so poor? I'm sorry. I just don't want to watch stuff that don't make sense.
I actually end up losing the trade very hard.
Okay, so yeah, he shouldn't even wait for that.
So now I'm obviously in trouble, especially since he's about to hit level 2 as well.
And his jungler could be coming.
But I do have a plan. My plan is to play safe until my E is up, and dash away if he jumps on me while my minions push in. If I can survive until level 3, that will give me the advantage I need to crash the wave and reset, or kill him if he gets aggressive and disrespects me. So I play very cautious while my E is down, and when Jax jumps in as expected, I dash away twice, knowing he will try to flash, and get away without having to use.
He dashed away twice just because he dashed away twice. I personally think it was luck that Jax played that poorly, because if he knew Jax was going to flash, he wouldn't have went for that play anyway. You know, it was one of those things where it's like, I just kind of got lucky, but it looks really nice, and I'll say something. It's one of those things where, when you're looking for information and knowledge about anything in life, if you don't know something and you're really looking for that, anything can seem like knowledge to you.
Use my own. Now I have to act quickly. While his E and Q are down, I need to focus on getting fury and killing minions so I can hit level 3.
He should still dumpster him.
Now, if we pause here as I hit level 3, look at the health disadvantage. You wouldn't think I would win this, right? Well, let's see what happens.
He shouldn't win it.
I flash in right away and stun him with my 50 Fury W, then dash out. Use Q to heal up before he kills me.
Yeah, Jax just played that poor. Very poor. He shouldn't have won that. Once again, it's just him knowing more. But just because he's better at laning doesn't mean he's better at like actually winning the game, which is why I think he lost this game when I looked at his history. So once again, it's just, it's so bad. Okay, what's about this one? Wait, is this the same kill or is this another kill? Hold on.
My 50 Fury W, then dash out. Use Q.
Okay, that's the same kill.
3
oh, okay, it's just a replay. All right. So once again, it's the same concept. Wave advantage. Know the matchup. I mean, it's not 4 things, it's 2.
Zion.
And once again, it's just, I just don't like how it's explained nor like taught. But let's see.
Reload, you guys will lose a bunch of
I'm only skipping because I don't want to waste you guys' time.
small trades and then end up dying. You have to think about every trade as things can get bad very quickly.
Hold on, let me go back to the concept. Thinking ahead and understanding how important each trade is.
Yeah, here are
True.
thinking ahead
True.
and understanding how important every trade is.
100%.
In low elo, you guys will lose a bunch of small trades and then end up dying. You have to think about every trade as things can get bad very quickly, as you'll see in this game. So at the start of the lane, I'm going to grab my first use CS as Sion walks into lane. He goes to use Q on me right after, which is a big mistake as I have no CS to go for at this point, so I won't get hit by that. So to punish, I level up my E and go in for a small trade, then jump out. That's our first example of a bad small trade. He used Q at the wrong time, then didn't respect that I could jump in and punish his Q being on cooldown. After that, Sion is going to use another Q when I'm not going for last hit, so again, I won't be hit by it. Then what happens next is what I mean by you guys don't think ahead when laning. He should know I'm ahead in the push advantage, meaning I'm going to hit level 2 first. I'm 1 minion from 2, and he's chasing me trying to get a grass proc off, but I know I'm about to hit 2. So I let him chase me a bit while the minions get low, then after he hits, I turn around, kill a minion to hit 2, and jump in using my level advantage to win the trade very hard. So he shouldn't have been trying to trade with me at all when I'm 1 minion from 2. He should be sitting back and waiting for the wave to come in. This leads to him losing another small trade. He has a lot of sustain with Corrupting Potion, but it won't be enough if he keeps taking trades like this. But after that, I focus on collecting my last hits as the next wave arrives. Sion uses Q here to grab the...
One thing to note, no matter how good or bad you are, Renekton is just very hard to deal with, so you can get away with a lot of stuff of what he's doing, which is probably why he chose the champion Renekton. Just a side note.
These minions, but after using it, he doesn't back off and uses...
Like I said, I don't like how he's talking about low elo players like they're just straight trash. Like, bro, that's not how it is. Low elo play, okay, it depends on how low. But low elo players, I kind of give it this way. Low elo players just don't understand certain concepts about the game. It is not that they suck. So it's learning. It's a learning process. You know what I mean?
This is W while walking at me. I could win the trade going in now.
And dealing with an oppressive laner like Renekton, of course that's hard. Of course that's not taught yet. You have to lose a lot of games versus Renekton in order to learn how to play versus Renekton. He's probably playing a tank because he's autofill. Mostly that's why people play tanks. There's a very small portion of players that play tanks because they enjoy it.
But instead, I wait for the shield to pop, then immediately jump in. I wait for the shield so I don't waste any damage on it in my all-in. And once again, he loses another trade extremely hard, disrespecting me by playing way too far up with his main trading tool down. Now he's easily in kill range since I'm about to hit level 3, so I just need to push the wave in and dive him. As the wave pushes in, he charges up Q, so I wait for it, then jump in to combo him and sadly cancel 2 autos before using my W and Q so he flashes to live. If I didn't cancel those autos, he easily dies there. But either way, he's still in big trouble.
You see a lot of what he's doing also is because the junglers don't actually do anything in lanes like this. One thing that I help to coach junglers is to really pay attention to lanes that are really volatile, because there's a lot of free kills you can get because players play exactly like this. It's not that he's outsmarting, it's that he's out-aggressing. I think that's the word. Out-aggressing the other player. So, like I said, it's Renekton versus a Scion. Even if you play it poor, if you just keep going in, you're going to do more damage because you're a champ that does more damage. Same with Darius, same with Garen. There's a lot of trades that can do poorly, but because of their champ, they kind of just get away with it. And that's the issue here. And that's why I said junglers can really take advantage of that. And because this is an elo where junglers just don't do anything, he's basically, like I said, what he's saying is just different from how he's playing. And it's very hard to like understand that, because you're going to try this and die, or you're going to try this and get ganked. One of the two.
Of course. I know he wants to recall before he finishes his recall.
Like I said, some of the concepts are important, like understanding the champion's strong and weak points, of course. Understanding how strong minions lanes are in early game, you kind of should already know that. So, of course, I mean, if you don't, that is still a good tip. Not understanding how important the push advantage is, true. Understanding the push advantage is important because you can get not only advantages in a 2v1 situation with the jungler, but you also can, of course, get that level advantage. And then, of course, thinking ahead and understanding how important each trade is, of course. Like, all those are good concepts, but the way that they showed it, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it that if you try to replicate what you've seen versus what you heard, you're not going to come out with good results. So I hope this helped. Concept-wise, I'm gonna give it an A, because concept-wise, that makes sense. All 4 of those things actually make sense. All 4 of those things are important. But like gameplay-wise, clip-wise, example-wise, they're not that great. They're really horrible. And when I say that they're horrible, they don't teach what they're saying. It just, I'm better than this guy. It looks good. Let's do it. And I don't like that type of thing, especially when it comes to teaching players that want to try to get better, saying low elo sucks repeatedly. I just don't like that as well. In the last part here, what do I specifically grade the video? Well, A being concepts, F being like just examples and not really talking about what actually could be happening. I'm gonna give it a D+. D+, C-, you guys could tell me what you think. C- or D+. But thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. And thank you for suggesting this video. Like I said, if you guys want to suggest videos, let me know in the comments below, or just DM me on Discord and I will go ahead and do that on my Is It Clickbait episodes. Without further ado though, you know what I always say. Thank you for what? Approaching this like a coach.